friends, my name is Joey. Look what came in the mail today, my bargain bead box for the month of April, and it's called the April Showers Collection. I am going to do a really fast unboxing because as I was setting up for my video, I could not help myself. As you guys know, if you've been here before, I've already designed a project and I think it's going to be really fun. This is like spring whimsy personified. It is all the things of a spring, showery, cloudy, rainy day, but it's really beautiful and sweet, and I think it's going to be elegant and whimsical, you know, not juvenile, at least the piece that I'm planning to make. So there are 21 items in this month's box, and if you are not familiar with Bargain Bead Box, I just want to say that I don't know how they do this every month. This is little over $22 a month. If you're in the continental United States, the shipping is free, and it's always just under $100 in retail value, but this month it was almost $103 in retail value because it is packed with really high quality crystals and crackle glass and findings and Amazonite and quartz and mother of pearl shell. So it's just like really, as a jewelry maker or a crafter, I don't know how you can live without this box. So I've been getting this for years and years. It's one of my favorite boxes. So let's jump right in and go quickly over our 21 items so we can start making. The first item is absolutely stunning. It's a 25 millimeter Amazonite faceted teardrop pendant. Mine is, you know, they'll all be a little bit different. You'll see in the Amazonite strands that you get a lot of color variation in the natural stone, but it has a really thin profile and the faceting is just lovely. It's a flat cut across the middle and then little angled cuts around the teardrop. So beautiful. And then more teardrops. These are gorgeous. This is a 10 by 7 millimeter faceted teardrop. Let me get a piece of wire so I can get my fingers out of the way. I love those. This is one of my favorite things in the box. That is absolutely gorgeous. This little teardrop is faceted all the way around just perfectly. I love that. It's so sweet. And then we got a strand of 6 millimeter Amazonite frosted beads, and they're just smooth rounds, but I'm going to put a few on my wire just so you can see the color goes from almost a cloudy green to a clear green to a really pale turquoise. I have one in here that's like even got some kind of mocha in the colors. I cut my strand. It's a 7-inch strand, and I cut my strand just because I like I like to see them on the mat just all together. But that is a beautiful bead. That's also one of my favorite beads in the box. And then more Amazonite, one of my favorite bead shapes. This is a 7.5-inch strand of an Amazonite, flower Amazonite rondelle bead. And again, look at the color variation. That is the prettiest green. And like in this box, there's an accent color, just one accent color, but it's a very monochromatic box, which is a great thing. You can really make elegant jewelry with a monochromatic scheme. But when I see this, I think in this soft color of green, you could add in pastels like lavender, yellow, pink, pale blue, like baby blue, and, you know, change up the look of this box because it is a fairly neutral and fairly monochromatic color palette, as I said. But look at these rondelles. They're so smooth. I wish you could feel this because it's a gemstone. It's got a really nice weight to it, and they're just so soft and wonderful. I just love them. Gemstones feel so good against the skin. And then we got this beautiful 14-inch strand in the sky blue. Again, like that is one of the colors that I think just goes great with the Amazonite. This is a 4 millimeter Malaysia jade, which is the industry name for dyed quartz. And again, 14 inches. And I mean, just look at the fabulous facets. That is a wonderful bead. And again, I wish you guys could feel this strand because it's just wonderful. And then, as I said, whimsy in this box. These are adorable. These are carved from freshwater shell, and they are 14 by 20 millimeter little cloud beads. And so because they are carved, like I have one that's fairly thick, one that's a little bit thinner, but this is one of the prettiest carvings that I've seen. They just did a really great job, and everyone's will look a little bit different because that's the nature of the natural shell. That is a tongue twister. And then this is absolutely glistening. I just love this. This is a teardrop briolette, and it is a crystal with the AB finish. So I know the camera just loves this sparkle. Isn't that amazing? It looks like you have struck diamonds, a diamond mine. It's so gorgeous. And the briolette is the, it goes to a point, this teardrop, and the drill hole is right across the top. So this makes wonderful drops. You can actually just put a jump ring through there. You can also do a briolette wire wrap. They are absolutely wonderful, and there is a nice long strand here. This is 8 inches, so great. And then on that same idea, there is a fancy rondelle bead, and this is also crystal AB, and there are 11 inches here. These are even spaced out with a little clear, looks like a, what is that? Is it at first I thought it was a Delica seed bead, but now I'm not sure. But I will even use those when I cut this open. But you guys, look at the sparkle. It's almost a mirror. And the AB really does remind me, whenever that Aurora Borealis, it always does remind me of the Northern Lights. That is absolutely a stunning bead, and I think I'm going to use this as the base to my design. This is absolutely gorgeous. Anything that you make with this is going to be wonderful. And then we have more crystal teardrops. This is also in a crystal AB, but you can see that they're a little bit different. The finishes on these beads are a little bit different. So that gives you a lot of dimension and, you know, a lot of texture and dimension and sparkle, like different sparkle in your project. So we got 10 inches of this, and it's an 8 by 6 millimeter. And then this is what I was saying about adding in soft pastel accent colors with all of this Amazonite. Look at the pale pink with the pale blue and that Amazonite, that flower Amazonite green. It's so pretty. And we got 10 inches, and this is called Peach Opal, and it also has the AB finish on it. So it is just absolutely glistening. I mean, really, it looks like you've struck a mine of gemstones or a pirate's chest. I don't know, but it's wonderful. I love that little bead. This is a 6 millimeter bead. So for me, that's like my sweet size. That's really the size I gravitate to all the time. And then these are stunning, absolutely stunning. This is a 10 millimeter bead. I'm going to put a few of them on here. This is an accented bead. So it's half matte. The facets on the top and bottom are matte, and then it's half crystal, where you can see through and you can see the AB just shimmering and sparkling like it does on the other beads. What a cool bead. What amazing faceting. That is just so lovely. I mean, honestly, with a bead like that, just a simple pair of drop earrings, one and done, and you just have that little shimmer and a little bit of movement on your ears, and it just lights up your face. I mean, you know, when the beads are this good, the work is already done for you. You don't have to overthink it. Just get out your jewelry tools and do what you know how to do. Okay, I am a big fan of crackle glass, and I know that the founder of Bargain Bead Box, Lauren Fenty, I know that she is too, because she said it a few times. And these are really beautiful crackle glass. They are very high quality. There is a 15-inch strand here. They are 8 millimeter, and they are matte, so they feel silky almost. They feel like satin, and the dimension and the kind of flash that is in these beads because of all the crackle is quite amazing. I absolutely love this strand of beads. And you know, as we go, and I'm going to use some of these, I won't use all, but I'm looking at this and I think as we go into the summer months, this is beautiful with the natural shell things, and this is like the color of the inside of a conch shell, and I just think it's beautiful. And if you really look at this crackle, doesn't it look cloud-like? I mean, it is so perfect for this box. I mean, just so perfect for this box. And then, speaking of clouds, all the metal findings this month are silver. They're a mix of silver plate and stainless steel. I'm a Floridian, lifelong Floridian. We are no strangers to stainless steel jewelry because it is a little bit of a gray color. It's not a super shiny silver like sterling silver. So, you know, you kind of get used to that color, but you can wear it in the pool. It doesn't tarnish. It keeps that color. And so, you know, we wear a lot of sunscreen. Our skin is moist all season long. So stainless steel jewelry is really, really wonderful. In all the beach boutiques, you see a lot of stainless steel anklets and bracelets because you can wear it on the beach and at, you know, poolside. So there's quite a few pieces in here, and one of them is this little stainless steel cloud chandelier. Isn't it so cool? You got 2 pieces of that, and then I love these little lightning bolts. These are also stainless steel. They're really petite, but I have such a cool idea for these lightning bolts for my project. I won't use all of them, but I'm going to use quite a few of them. And then I am loving this. I have 2 favorite charms. These little clouds are amazing, and we got, how many did we get? We got 10 pieces. So there is enough to do earrings, bracelet charms, anklet charms. This is just a really sweet little cloud charm. And then we have some puffy cloud chandeliers. These are so cool, and they almost look like bubbles. To me, when I picked them up, I thought, oh, that almost looks like bubbles, but that could go perfectly with this theme as well. So they're like concave or hollowed out on one side and convex on the other side. And then my second favorite little charm, oh my goodness, there's 2 pieces of this, and these are little rhinestone umbrellas, and they have a little drop of water with a rhinestone hanging off the corner of the umbrella. Aren't they just stunning? That is so sweet. I'll be using both of those in my project. We got stainless steel spacer beads. There's 50 pieces here. We got these beautiful silver plated bead caps, and they kind of, this is one of my favorite bead caps. They look like a little flower, which is perfect for a spring theme. And then we got 1 meter of a stainless steel curb chain. So I will be using that in my project. And this is, last but not least, this is a 16 by 14, 20 millimeter platinum plated brass cubic zirconia cloud toggle. It is so elegant, and the quality of this is just amazing. I'm going to be putting this in my project, but I am going to put it in the front of the project because this would be a shame for it to be like on the back of the neck and not be seen. So I'm going to use that as a front closure on my, and I'll tell you, my necklace design. I'm super excited about it. This box is very inspiring to me. So let me clean up a little bit and just save out the things that are going on in my project, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's what I think is going to go into my project. I have also pulled out some stainless steel oval jump rings. I have some stainless steel round jump rings, a number 2 crimp tube. I've already cut some little links of that curb chain, and then I have some stainless steel textured paper clip chain. And if you are not familiar with the situation with Bargain Bead Box, once you are a subscriber to Bargain Bead Box, you can shop their sister website called Beadbox Bargains and get 30% off of every order and shop as much as you want. So this stainless steel chain came from their website. I am also making some charms, and I'm using stainless steel ball head pins for my charms. Here's another one. Little stainless steel ball head pins. I used some of the crackle glass, and those ball head pins came from the Beadbox Bargains website as well. I'm gonna need a few more of those. So they have, they do specials, they do closeouts. I find some really fabulous things. If you're not a subscriber to the Bargain Bead Box, you can still shop the sister website. You just don't get the 30% off. But that 30% makes a really big difference in your order total. It's like getting wholesale pricing even if you're not a wholesaler. On top of all that, I have a discount code to Bargain Bead Box. So I'll put that in the description box with a link. So if you want to think about subscribing to the box, if it's something you're interested in, you can get a discount from your first box. So let's jump into this project. I think it's going to be really cool. I don't even know if I told you the design idea, but I want to do an add-in section. This is going to be my base necklace, and it is going to hold my charms, all my clouds and all my spring day charms. I was looking at the box and I was thinking, if you separate the clouds, the lightning bolts, the umbrella charms, if you start like separating them, you'll lose the theme and the whimsy of the box. And so in order to keep them all together, but not make it too busy or crazy, this is going to be a charm section. And I'm going to use this paper clip chain and this beautiful toggle clasp to assemble my necklace and then add the charms on. So this is the coolest wire. This is the Softflex 925 sterling silver extreme flex. It's a 19 strand bead stringing wire. I just love it. It looks so good with all the silver and all the AB finishes. So I'm going to string a few more beads on here. I make my necklaces a little bit long, and especially when I'm doing a charm style necklace, I really like them to be a little bit low, like maybe 26 inches, something like that, so that I can see all the charms and dangles and enjoy it. So I'm gonna stop right about here, and I'm going to take this number 2 crimp tube. I've already done the other end. I'll show you what it looks like. I used my magical crimping plier to get this perfect little silver bead, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side, but you could totally do a fold over crimp here. Honestly, I even thought about doing a flat crimp, because this won't get a lot of stress on it, and all of these beads have really nice big holes. So as you can see, I'm able to run that bead stringing wire back down a few beads. Okay, I want this to be nice and fluid, so I'm just working everything down, my crimp tube down, and I'm just going to pull that loop, make sure that I don't have any strange gaps, and I'm going to come in with my magical crimping plier and just fit it right in the middle, make my little square, go in the opposite direction, close it again, and just go around a few times to make a bead. Beautiful. And now I can come right under here and trim this so that it hides amongst my beads. And I save any of my scraps of my bead stringing wire because I make earrings and little connector components out of them. So now I'm going to connect this. On this side, I'll connect with an oval jump ring, and on this side, I'm going to use the toggle clasp, and it's going to be a front closure necklace because, as I said in the unboxing, that toggle clasp is just much too pretty to be behind the neck. Platinum plated brass, so pretty. So I'm just going to add this in, and I actually had this length of chain already cut, so I didn't measure it, but you could make this any length that you want. Necklace designs are very adjustable. You can make them to your liking. I tend to like longer necklaces. Okay, and there's a little jump ring on here that is brass and platinum plated, so I can use that for one end, and I'll use my oval jump ring to connect. This is such high quality, I can't even find the opening of the jump ring. Okay, so I'm going to attach this to my last link of chain and close that really well. And then I'm going to take another oval jump ring and attach right here my T-bar. And that's what I have so far. This is already gorgeous. Honestly, if you just stopped right here, this is absolutely stunning. If you just stopped right there, but I'm not going to stop there. So as I said, I've already made a few of my charms because this is a charm necklace, and I like to just make a few ahead of time and build my piece. So I've already made these, and then I can add in. So I've already made these. I did 2 briolette wraps. I'll go ahead and do a third one and show you how I do that. This is a piece of 20 gauge wire, but honestly, I have to be super careful with this wire on these crystal briolettes not to break this. So if you want to do a briolette wrap on this, I would suggest going down to maybe 22 gauge wire or even or even finer. I mean, it does fit in the hole, but I don't know. I just felt like this was a pretty heavy duty gauge for this little crystal, but I've already done a couple of them with it, so I'm going to be really careful and just pull these wires like this by hand toward the middle. And I'm just making sure I'm not too close to the point, and then just get those wires going upward. Just use my pliers to direction them up. I'm going to come right here and just snip my shorter wire. And now this is just a regular wire wrapped loop. I'm just going to get a hold of my 2 wires, give this a 90-degree bend, and it's just a regular wire wrapped loop from here. But when I get down to where I have cut that piece, I'm going to wrap right on top of that, encasing the cut part right into my wraps. And with this, you can, like for a different look, you can keep wrapping and wrap right down over everything. But on my other ones, I let the little point of the crystal show, and I just did about 3 wraps. And I really like the way it looks. If you need to tighten them, you can. I really like the way it looks. And then I'm just going to come back here and snip and tuck like we do everything. Okay, so I have 3 little crystals. I'm definitely going to put both of my umbrellas. I got out 3 of these clouds to go in, and then I'm going to do something kind of fun with the lightning bolts. Since they were really small, I took 3 equal lengths of the curb chain that was in the box and one of the stainless steel jump rings. I don't know if I mentioned, but the stainless steel jump rings and the stainless steel ball head pins all came from the sister website to Bargain Bead Box. So I have that, and all I did is take the lightning bolts and the jump rings, and let me put some of these in here so I am under the camera lens. And then I have 3 equal pieces of chain. I just cut them to the same size, and I'm just going to open these stainless steel jump rings and attach it to the last link on the chain, and then there's a little connection on each lightning bolt, and just do that and get my tool in here instead of doing this with my finger. Okay, and so that is ready to go onto my charm necklace. Okay, last one. And I did this little charm with the crackle glass, and I'm going to do a 3rd one of those. Go ahead and make that. So what I did is put one of the ball head pins, and then I put one of these bead caps facing down, and then one of the stainless steel spacer beads on top of that. And then I'm just going to give this a bend and come with my round nose pliers. This is going to be a simple loop, but I start mine exactly the way I start a wire wrapped loop. But when I get to this point and I bring this wire around and I roll that loop and line everything up, instead of wrapping, I take my round nose pliers away and I come right here where the 2 wires meet and snip. These are stainless steel, so I got out one of my older cutters that isn't as sharp, and I'm still finding, even because it's stainless steel that I'm working with, that it's a little tough to make those cuts. But then I'm just going to close and work harden, and I have a really nice little charm. And so let's attach what I have so far. And what I did is I got a few sizes of stainless steel jump rings. So these should be large enough to go right over my spacer beads. And so that's why this was kind of the base, so that when my charms are on, the crystal and the sparkle will show through each of the charms. And so I'm just going to come like do the first one in the middle and build my way outward. So these, like I said, these are large enough that they will float around over the spacer beads but not go over the crystals. So let's see, I think I'm going to start with one of my little Amazonite stacks. I might even add my chain sections on, put two things, like add the chain on with the charms. And so I'm just gonna like build my little charm necklace just like that, taking a jump ring. Let's do the umbrella next. Go over the next one. I never open my jump rings wide enough. Put my little one of my umbrellas next. I don't know if I'll use everything that I have out here. I'm gonna just, you know, build it, add until I'm happy with the look and until I like the, you know, the fullness and the way everything hangs. It's already just gorgeous. I think I'll do one of my crackle beads next. And I am just gonna keep going until I have added all of the charms and dangles that my little heart desires. I think this is so whimsical and fun, and I love a necklace like this where the busyness is contained in just a small section of the necklace and not all the way around the head, because I think it's more wearable and more comfortable, and you know, just not as busy. And I think, at least for me, it's something I would wear more than if there's too much of this. So, but I love the whimsy, and I love keeping the clouds, the umbrella, the raindrop beads. They're teardrops, but I'm going to call them raindrops. I just love keeping them all together in their little story like this. So I think I'm going to add one of my chains with the lightning bolt right onto the same jump ring as the cloud charm, and I'll see if I feel like it hangs nicely or if it's too crowded. Oh, it's really pretty though. It's really pretty, and the chain comes down a little ways beneath everything else. I really like that. Okay, I have finished filling up my charm necklace. It is stunning. I will put some better pictures up at the end so that you can see, but it's absolutely stunning. I did this at random, so if you wanted to do this project and make it more contrived and kind of like a more perfect pattern, you definitely could. But I decided, since I had so many beautiful beads and charms, to just do it at random, and making it asymmetrical with this toggle in the front, you know, kind of offsets the randomness. And I even thought about doing more chain, but it's busy enough for me. And I just think it is lovely, and you can really see the whimsical spring theme. So Bargain Bead Box did a great job again this month. Again, don't forget to check the description box. My discount code, links for the website will be there, as well as my favorite tools. And I hope everybody is safe and well and having fun on your beading mats. See you in the next video.